Hey, so what you're watching right now is a demonstration of the gunner from Deep Rock Galactic, and more specifically his shield utility weapon, or I guess just utility tool, not really a weapon. But got kind of some concerns about how good it is. I've always thought it was pretty good for what it was already. It's essentially just a dome that you stand under. It recharges your shield, and enemies cannot get past the wall, but you're free to shoot them back. And I think it either lasts a little bit too long, or I'll show you what I'm talking about, and I'll go over some possible solutions I might have for this. But as it is right now, I think something needs to be changed because this is pretty cheese. I almost blow it right here because an exploder snuck up behind me. But normally you can just stand in this shield bubble right here. You drop a resupply pod right next to your objective that you got to guard. Once you throw down 2 shields, you resupply. You get 1 back. You get 2 back. And then once 1 runs out, you just throw the next one down. Look how disgusting this is. Like, something's not working. As far as I know, nothing can get past this. I know no enemies can. I think maybe the Glyphid Praetorian, I think maybe their like acid spray can, and the gas they release when they die. I think that can, and a lot of the Glyphid Dreadnought attacks, like the spikes that shoots up from the ground, I know that can as well. But, for the most part, you can just keep doing this, and nothing can get past anything. So, yeah, it might be a little bit too good. One of the possible things I might have to fix it is lower the number you can carry at one time. Because right now you have 3, and when you resupply, you get half of your ammo back. But odd numbers like 3 always round up, so you'll get 2 shields back from 1 resupply. So you just sit under the shield, you use 2, resupply once, and get 2 shields back. And it's pretty cheese. Max cheese. Yeah. So lowering the number you can carry at one time, that might be a possible fix. I don't think it would help the overall problem because I just think the shield is really, really good. This is just with 1 player. This is the hardest difficulty, extreme, but it's 1 player. If there were 2 gunners on a team, or 4 gunners, if everybody's a gunner and they're all just using these shields, you can survive anything just by throwing down shields. So, I don't know, I just think something needs to get changed about it. I always thought it was strong. I never really thought of using it like this until now. I've always theorized it was kind of possible, but now I want to test it, and it does indeed work. I'll show you another clip in just a second about how you can use it against Glyphid Dreadnoughts as well, because they have some pretty interesting bugs, maybe? I don't think... It's definitely not working as intended, but shields do all kind of weird things to Glyphid Dreadnoughts. Another possible fix is maybe make it a 180 wall shield instead of a 360 dome. Now that would definitely knock off a lot of its usefulness, but a wall nothing can get past is still really, really useful, especially in tunnels when there's only one way through. Just the whole, you can shield your entire team. I'm not even attacking. I'll show you here in a minute what it's like kind of when I attack, and every once in a while I'll forget to throw it down right when it ends, and a exploder will slip through like you saw, but yeah, I can deal with that. There's really nothing you can do about this. It kind of defeats the whole purpose of the game. It's like if you're playing Mario, but you have the option to use Lakitu's Cloud at the beginning of every level, and you can just fly over the whole thing. The whole point of these sequences is to hold back the waves of bugs, but you don't have to do that. You can just throw down a shield and sit there. And yeah, this would work with more than 1 people. Imagine there's just 4 people underneath the shield. And this is also the least opportune terrain. Deep, steep slopes like this are probably the worst place to use the shield, just because they're always going to be close to you on one side. But it still works. It still works just fine. It works even better on flat terrain. But yeah, this is an example of what it's like to use your guns while the shields are going. I've just been using Bosco, but yeah, you can do it yourself too. And that was the hardest difficulty. Survived both full waves. Well, actually, as you'll see here, I'm going to die in a minute, and something really weird kind of happens. I'll get nicked by the acid spray from the Praetorian just as I enter the pod. But I've got the... I can't remember what it's called. It's a perk that lets you live for like 9 seconds or something after you die. But I jump into the pod while that's perks active, and I die in the pod, but it still says mission complete. So that's interesting. Don't know. That's a bug? Maybe? I mean, I did complete the mission, so I'd much rather it not be a bug. And you do get your life back if you manage to heal yourself while that perk's active, so, you know, maybe it's intentional. I'd like to think you survived that because you made it to safety. And you were dwarfed down in the pod. Yeah, right there. And I died. But yeah, that was the hardest difficulty, just shields. Shields are really, really good. And what's coming up next is the clip of how shields work with dreadnoughts, and they do weird things. I don't know what it... I think it's because the Glyphid's dreadnoughts are programmed to just chase after a player, but if they're also programmed to run away from shields like everything else. Like this, you can kind of just... that you can almost trap them in a shield. And this doesn't always work. It's kind of finicky. Sometimes they just ignore it, but a lot of times they'll just stay trapped there. And sometimes they'll just ignore shields outright, it seems, if they get caught in the middle of the thing like this. They just keep moving, but they'll try to run away from the shield, and then there's nothing for them to chase because the only player is beneath the shield. So they'll just sit there with their butt facing you, and you can just, you know, shoot them in the butt from beneath the shield. And I think this is just the aftermath of his roar attack and him being slowed from Bosco's electric rounds. But yeah, sometimes they'll just like almost get trapped in a shield. And I don't know, I don't think that's how they're supposed to behave, but they've got different AI when compared to other things. So maybe that's just the shield thing. I don't know, maybe a little bit too strong probably. I don't know exactly how to fix it. But, yeah, there you go. Just some of my thoughts on it.